So hey everyone, welcome back to Rebecca's Colouring Arts and Crafts. So today I'm going to start pre-recording another new book just to put in between the others. I just wanted to do this one because I kind of wanted to do a bit of a limited colour palette with specific colour tones, and this book kind of allows that because it's kind of got the different creatures for like earth, fire, water, that sort of thing. So I don't know if I did a flip through of this one, but this is called The Book of Beasts. It's a Colour and Discover colouring book. It's hardback obviously, and it's based around like mythical creatures. So when you open it, and I'm not sure if I'll have to zoom out more. Oh, yeah, I'm going to have to zoom out more. Just so you can show you that a little more without it being too bright. There we go, that's a bit better. So this is all our just a book based around mythical creatures, and I haven't coloured any of this yet. Probably some of these like front pages and possibly even the introduction page I'll probably do off camera. It depends, let me know what you think, but I will obviously be starting with these. But as you can see, we've got like earth, which I was thinking like earth tone palette kind of thing. Then we've got things like, if I can find them, well, as you'll see, it's all sorts of mythical creatures. So this is still earth. So it's all different sort of mythical creatures with little bits of information about them, and you get to hand colour it to how you like it kind of thing. But then see, we've got things like wind, which for me would be like silvers and blues and those sorts of colours. So it's very much, I guess, like very much enabled for certain colour palettes or certain colour tones or all of those. So, and like, I don't know if wind would have browns, but you'd probably, I think what I would want to do is try and do it in the specific colour palettes, but it depends, it may not work totally. Like obviously these rocks would have to be browns or earthy tones kind of thing, but we'll see, you never know, you may make it work. Can always try. Then we got things like, here we go, water. So I would say like blues and possibly wind. I don't know if you might even have like some purpley tones to it or not. I'm sort of looking up rough colour palettes as I think about doing them, but water would be obviously like blues, and would probably be blues and purples and stuff more in the water palettes. Blues, purples, bit of like greeny, teal sort of tones. And then I think the last one we've got is, if I can find it, so we've got all these mythical creatures. Yeah, fire. So the last one's fire, so that's like oranges, reds, all those bright in your face colours. So even pinks and yellows and that. So there'll probably be some colour crossover with certain things in this, but I kind of think it would be fun to do for like a bit of a colour palette challenge, I'm thinking. So yeah, just zoom in a bit. Obviously we want to focus on this one. I'm trying to decide, I think I'll start with like our earth beast or dragon or whichever it is first, and then I'll work out from there with our other tones. I'm thinking I'm going to use my Fabercastell Polychromos pencils in this, and I do need to decide the colours that I'm going to use for our earth beast. I think I'm going to try, and as much as possible, try and limit my colour palette specifically to things, but obviously there's going to be some things that we're still going to have to use other colours for, like the sky, but we'll see. I might be able to work something in where I can just really limit those colour palette tones. So I want to try and really sort of limit the colour palette tones to what the subject is about. So like earth, sky, earth, wind, water, fire. I want to try and limit the coloured palette tones to suit the specific things it's saying it is. So that's my goal and my aim in this anyway. So that'll probably mean using like earthy colours to create the sky, or with our other ones like wind, probably using silvers and stuff to create the rocks. And so yeah, it's going to be an interesting challenge anyway. So yeah. So I did also, it was ages ago, but I did get this one from Book Depository too. But yeah, so I'm going to pause for a minute. I'm going to get out some earthy colours. I think it does allow for reds and that, but I think I'm going to leave the reds more for our fire section and just try to work with more like olives, browns, bits of yellows, those sorts of tones. So yeah, I will be back shortly. So hey everyone, I'm back. So I've zoomed in more closer to our dragon. I've decided I'm going to start on my dragon, but I'm going to work on the body first and then the wings. I've decided on some more sort of olivey, greeny, yellowy tones because, as I said, I wanted to try and limit my colour palette to certain tones depending on what the specific topic or subject is. So these bottom ones here are the ones that I was playing around with, and this is sort of the colour tone scheme that I decided upon for our dragon here. So yeah, this is going to be fun. I better put in my paper behind the image so that we're there. Obviously it does have wings, these are its wings, but I'm not going to focus on the wings straight away. I will focus on them as I get the other areas, sort of the body. I mostly want to focus on the body first and then focus on the wings. I'm probably going to try and do the whole body this part if I can. That's my goal anyway, or my aim. So we've got to decide where our light source is coming from too, and it would probably more be coming from this way down, just because of the fact that we've got all our trees and stuff over here. So yeah, I haven't decided if I'll be adding other stuff into it or more leaves on the trees or what yet. I probably won't. This is pretty detailed as it is, so it'll probably work out as it is, but we shall just play it by ear and see. So we're going to start first with our Fabercastell Polychromos, and I need to sharpen this one. Ready? That's one thing I love about Fabercastell Polychromos, is that they don't break easily if you drop them, and they retain a sharp point for longer. So, but yeah, I love all my pencils and I use them all for their different things. So I'm going to start with my Fabercastell Polychromos, and I'm going to start with an olive green yellowish. And since our light source is coming from this way down, you might not have seen that before, so I'll do it again, this way down. I'm going to start with my shadows more on these inner sides of the scales. So I need to see where I've got, so I've got down to about here, so about where the neck crease starts to meet the body. So I've got till there to do it. So I'm going to work with my olive green yellowish, and I'm going to create my shadows on our little dragon, earth dragon here. So I want to start with the shadows in this bottom side, so the side where our light source isn't, but also where the scales are sort of overlapping a bit. We want to create a bit of an overlap there. So we're going to bring these in here, and a little bit of our light source to allow for blending. You may need to do a couple of layers, like not right now, but obviously a couple of layers as we're doing this. So like do one layer with all the colours, and then you might want to go over and do a second layer. I'm going to play it by ear and see how it comes out. If I like the colour as it is the first go around, then I will probably leave it at that. But if I want to add and create some more depth to the colour, I'm probably going to definitely go in and add in another layer of our colour tones. So just play it by ear as to how deep you want the colour as you go, and that's how I'm going to do it as well. So we're adding our yellow, green, olive-ish, trying to leave space for all our colours in here. Some areas are obviously smaller so they won't fit as many colours, but we can still do the best we can to fit as much as we can. I will do the spines and everything first, but first I want to fill out these scaly sort of bits. Then I'm going to go and work on the horns and the spikes and all of that sort of stuff. So yeah, I'm just going to work in little bits and pieces and sections. I am. I actually love that this is a slightly larger size colouring book. It's sort of like sometimes when you get to work with a larger image. Even though it takes longer, it's fun. I can't deny that. And I love working sometimes with these larger dragons sort of images and mythical creature images. Yeah, it's me. But yeah, pretty much I'll probably just go along the whole video. I'm gonna, if I can, I'm going to try and get this whole dragon's body done this part. I'll see how I go. I can't guarantee it, but I'm going to do my best, even if it is a longer video kind of thing, because, well, why not? But yeah, we'll play it by ear and see how it goes as to how much we get done. But I kind of like just doing some longer videos when I can with parts and showing you how to do these parts. So yeah, at the moment my plans are just to do it till I do that, and it also shortens the amount of parts and how long you have to wait between the next part, and gives you more to do between now and then as well. So having a longer part and more happening with it, so it all works. But yeah, that's what I'd like to do with this part anyway. It is. And I'm just doing this olive green yellowish over all these scales to create our shadows kind of thing. So, and I'm also trying to fill in where the scales would overlap, so it looks like there's a bit of a shadow where the scales overlap and stuff too. And obviously some of these small areas won't take all the colours in either, same with the scales. Some of the small areas won't take all the colours, but we can still work in all the colours on top of things anyway, just to make them all look even and right and all of that. So even if you don't have all the colours in every scale, it's sort of, it doesn't matter because you're still going to have it looking similar anyway, and obviously not everywhere is going to be able to fit all our colours in just because of the size of the space, all of that, but you can still have it looking similar by still bringing in those colours over the top even once you already have, shall we say, how do I explain it? Basically have those few colours in the area filled in. You can still have it looking similar because you've still added the colours on the top. Even if it doesn't have all the light source areas showing, it still will fit in because you've still got all the colours there. So I hope that makes sense anyway. But yeah, I'm just focusing at the moment on filling out these little scale areas on this dragon's head with that olive green colour. And I want to do this first so then I can sort of work around it with a bit. Maybe I'll change the colours slightly a bit for like the body areas. I'm not sure, I haven't fully decided on that yet, but so that it doesn't look too similar, but then maybe I'll still work in the same colours because it can kind of look interesting when you create that effect or variation or whatever using the same colours in the same areas, but sort of it looks different in its own way kind of thing, as I found out recently when I got to play with only 9 colours for my Millie Marotta Dormice entry, and I didn't record that just because, well, the time thing, but also I thought, well, I can always do a different piece anyway for that. So I kind of decided I would, like with this one, try and do like limited colour palette, and then other ones limited amounts of colours or stuff like that, but I'll probably start that one later once I've sort of rounded up a few more, since I've started a few new pieces and things like that. But yeah, it'll all work out. But yeah, I'll see. I'm kind of considering, like, it could be cool having a second set of colours in here that's slightly different to the dragon scales, but then it's at the same time I'm sort of thinking, well, I'd kind of like to keep these colour tones through the thing, but probably what I'll do is, before I do that, test in a part when I have to pause the camera briefly, test if these colours will work together, if I want to try and add in a different colour, just see how it'll work, because I'm sort of half thinking that it'll probably blend in these tones together a little more than I want them to, because I kind of want the scale widths to stand out. So now I think about it, yeah, I probably will find a second colour to work in with these in our sort of greeny olivey tones. I think I will. And I hope you can sort of see all the areas where I'm adding this tone, because it kind of is a bit of a paler tone, but I guess I wanted it that way, so yeah. But this is our darkest tone for our colours kind of thing for this little dragon currently. So yeah, I'm thinking like some darker greeny olives sort of for the other areas might be nice. But yeah, I'll play with that in between whilst I'm recording this anyway, and it'll all work out. It'll all be good. I know this probably isn't a common book that people have, because I know I only found it. It actually took a lot of searching when I found this one ages ago, so I know it's probably not one people have, but I kind of thought, even though I couldn't find anything on the internet about it, I thought I would kind of take a chance and get it, just because I thought it sounded cool having a book that also gave you descriptions of mythical creatures, but that you could colour yourself too. So it's kind of like Joanna Basford's Ivy and the Inky Butterfly, I guess, in the fact that you get to colour and create how the book looks in the end, and in that way it's sort of your own mythical stories because you've coloured it yourself. You haven't created the designs obviously, but you get to colour things how you want it to look with your introduction, your whole book with the dragon, your story. You get to sort of create it and make it look the way you want it. You want your story or mythical creatures book to look. So I kind of like that aspect of this one, and that's why I got it. And let me know too if you do want me to colour the introduction on camera or show you. I'm sort of thinking I may add this one to one of my books that I sort of colour from beginning to back on camera kind of thing. Let me know if you're interested in seeing that anyway, because yeah, I think it could be something fun to do, because it is kind of that different sort of book. The other two books that I currently have that I'm planning on doing this with is Joanna Basford's Ivy and the Inky Butterfly, which I've kind of done some tutorials explaining how I did the first page on that, because I started that off camera when I was away sometime. And then the other one that I'm doing that with is what is it, World of Flowers, and I'm also doing that one from beginning to end on camera kind of thing. Then I know it's taking a while, but as you all know, I like to take my time with my colouring and do things how I like them to look, and just take time and not rush things. So yeah, let me know if you would definitely like to see that, but I'm sort of considering doing that because it's I guess like a storybook that you can create your own sort of way and get to explore it and stuff like that. But let me know if it's something you would like to see me do anyway, and I can always go back and work on the introduction bit off on camera and that. Like, there's not too much to colour in the introduction and our front page bit, but yeah, I can still do it on camera and show you a tutorial as to how I do this book, because I think it could be kind of fun, because it is something a little different with the fact that it's kind of like a mythical creatures, like obviously I don't know if these things actually exist, but it's like a but different element creatures around legendary beasts and creatures, and those creatures and shapes and sizes, and yeah, and I guess it is something a bit different. Like, I might even try starting that on a Mila Marotta book. I'm not sure yet, I haven't fully decided, but I think it could be something cool to do. But obviously don't expect it to be done anytime soon, because I do like to take my time with doing these things, because that's just how I like doing it. But yeah, it's something that I can share with you anyway, and then if you want to, you can have yours the same, or you can do it make some changes and do yours slightly differently. it all works. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking at the moment, that I might even do this front to back on camera kind of thing. But yeah, let me know if you would like to see something like that happen with this mythical creatures information, sort of colour and information book, I think it is, basically. It says, the mythical world is full of marvellous monsters, from man-eating giants and enormous elephant-catching birds to majestic, kind-hearted beasts. Legendary creatures come in all shapes and sizes. Some of the animals in this compendium were forged in the fears and imaginations of ancient civilizations, while others were probably based on real-life creatures that early explorers had never seen before. The creatures in this book have been compiled and categorized into 4 chapters, each focusing on a different element: earth, wind, water, and fire. Colour in the striking pictures of each fantastical beast, then turn the page to find out about the fascinating legends and stories surrounding them. So it is kind of like a story and legend book, as you can see here. It's got like a bit of information about our creature that we're now colouring, and we can do that with same colours that we're doing in the front and stuff like that. So yeah, let me know if it's something you would like to see happen, because I think it would be a fun thing to do, because I'm enjoying doing that with World of Flowers and Ivy and the Inky Butterfly. I know I haven't gotten a heap done yet, but it's something that I am really enjoying doing, so yeah. And I guess it's a different sort of book to do it in compared to the Joanna Basford books as well. So, and I know I haven't actually seen this book on YouTube much at all. So, yeah, it could be something fun to do that's sort of not really out there at the moment. So, but yeah, I've got a lot of pieces that I want to work on and keep working on. And the reason why I ended up deciding to add all these in was partly because people were requesting them, partly because I decided, well, I might as well do some other things that people might like to see, or some new things, throw those in, but also because then it gives me a chance to sort of utilise all the different books that I've got and do some different colour alongs for things that may not be quite as popular or may not be so well known, or all of that. And I kind of like the idea of doing that. I do. I'm just checking where I can go to before I need to move the book. Okay. And I'm just altering where the light is coming from on these different scales as we go, depending on the angle and the position and all of that too. So I'm just going to pause there for a minute just because we're getting low on our camera time that's left, and then I will be back. So yeah, I will see you shortly. So hey everyone, we're back. So I've shifted our image up whilst I've been at this because I'm going to keep working on getting the scales done, and then I'm going to go back and look into working on our dragon body. So we're going to continue here with our olive green yellowish, and we want to keep just doing our shadows in the direction our light source is coming from. So in this case our light source is coming from up this way down, and so I'm working on trying to have my shadows at the back end where that light source wouldn't hit so much. So in this case, sort of the bottom of the scales, or where the creases of the skin are, there would obviously be a bit of shadows. And so the creases of the skin in this case, why I'm just doing it on the creases of the skin is just because the shadows would be there because of the crease of the skin, and then the light would be over here. So I'm kind of just adjusting it depending on where our shadows fall and where the skin creases fall and all of that. I am. So I'm just adjusting it based on where I think things fall and where I want shadows to fall and where I think there needs to be shadows and that sort of thing. So I'm going to do this little arm bit last just because so I don't rub much off. If I can while I'm doing it, I'm going to go along the body bit here first. I am. So I want to try and minimize the possibility, as you know, sometimes the colors rub off a bit while you're doing them. So I'm doing these little bits, but I'm hoping the color won't rub off as I move over with my hand and keep working on the other areas. But yeah. So I'm going to sort of focus on more leaving these lower areas blank for now, just so that I can sort of still move my hand along and work on these areas as I go. But, and not so much have that colour rub off kind of thing. So if that makes sense, kind of thing doesn't really make much sense, but yeah. And I'm just going to change the way my paper angle is too, so that I'm sort of covered and don't accidentally miss something because I'm going along here. Felt like a sneeze was coming on then. Might still happen. Something's tickling my nose at the minute. And it's probably because there's summer and flowers and all sorts of pollen and stuff coming out at the minute. Probably is. I hope you're enjoying these new and old parts anyway, and as I've said before, these are pre-recorded. But yeah. Do the best I can anyway, and at least having these pre-recorded, well, I don't know what's going to happen with my wrists yet, so I'm sort of trying to pre-record as much as possible as my wrist and hand allows, even though I'm pushing it a bit too much because, yeah, it's not doing well, but I want to do it so much and make sure that I do have some stuff able to go up, depending on what happens or what has to happen with my hand and wrist and that. So yeah, I'm just wondering, do I finish this? I might as well just finish this dragon arm while I'm at it, now that I've started it. Yeah, I hope you'll enjoy all these parts anyway, new and old. Well, new and old meaning new colouring videos and old colouring videos that we've been working on for a while. Trying not to fill up all the space like I just did with that toe bit there. I'm going to leave the claw bits open for now, because I haven't fully decided what I want those little bits where the nail goes, whether they're the same sort of scale width or whether they'll be different. I can always add these colours in again later. It's not going to hurt doing it that way, and trying to put it on the sides where the skin flap sort of bit is, so that we sort of create our shadows. I probably should have, I don't know if I should have had it underneath or on top, because I started doing it underneath, but then kind of where it sits is kind of the fold, so there would be a shadow from the fold. So yeah, who knows. Yeah, I'm just trying to do my best. So yeah, I'm going to do this one from the bottom. I am, just because our light source is coming from this way down, so, and because that's the top of the leg, I kind of feel like it would have the light up there. I think it's just got thicker lines because I wanted to make sure that people were able to see the features and have them stand out, kind of thing. And I'm assuming that's it, but I'm guessing it could also just be that it was just drawn with thicker lines in some areas and thinner lines in others to highlight the different areas. So like the outlines of the trees, the outside of the trees are thicker with the outlines, so the outlines all seem to be thicker, but the inner details seem to be a lot finer. So it's probably about allowing people to be able to see what's happening and decide what they want to do based on what's going on with it. Which is kind of a good idea in some ways, but in other ways it depends on if you kind of like that thing too. But I'm just going to work around it because it is what it is, and I still kind of like this book. I do. So these smaller areas obviously aren't going to fit as many colours, but I'll still make them look the same by still adding in all the colours anyway, even if it doesn't mean they get all of them. And I'm sorry, I have to go and deal with Lils quickly, so I will be back in a minute. So we're back. I had to get Lils in because she was barking at the neighbours and because their dogs are barking and blah blah blah. So yeah. Yeah, as I've said, she doesn't tend to like them very much. So we're going to keep going here where we've got our wings here. I'm going to have our shadow in that area. Same for where the leg is overlapping here. I'm going to put my shadow bit in that spot. And I think the dogs started because it's school traffic out and they don't like other people or kids or any of that walking past, so they tend to bark at them all the time. And that causes Lils to bark, but maybe it means also that she's starting to feel a bit better, which would be good, because I was really worried about her. I still am, and I'm still hoping she's okay, but yeah, we can only keep an eye on her. I can. I'm quite liking that colour. I know it's kind of hard to see just how deep or just how that colour works, because it is kind of a, I guess, a paler olive colour, but I'm kind of liking how it's coming out. I don't know if I'll go over and just add a bit of deeper tone to some areas or not. I'm trying to do that as I go, but yeah. Can't really tell too much the difference anyway, so yeah. I think it's just depending on the light, because the other lot looks darker, but it's not in quite as bright a light area, so yeah. And then I'm just changing the angle slightly because of the fact we're starting to come to the curve in the tail. Let's just check. Yeah, all of this is still in camera, which is good. So we got the tail, then we got these little bits here to do as well. And then we can move on to our next colour with the scales, which is kind of cool. And I'm just going to fill in that spot because it would be in shadow with the border bit in front of it. So some of these bits I will fill in creating shadows, others I probably won't fill in as much. It depends on where I think the shadow is coming from, or where the light is coming from, I mean. Because as you'll notice, I've been adjusting it as I've been going around depending on the angle of the body and the tail and all of that. Now we want to go back to this front area. I probably should have really started from this end and gone that way, just because, and then continued with this midsection of the body, because then I wouldn't have been rubbing my hands on it so much. But really it probably doesn't matter too much anyway right now, because we're only on our first colour, so it's all good. I'm not sure what these spots are, but I'm guessing they're like shadowed areas, or where there's meant to be shadows on the dragon's body. But I'm just sort of, some of those spots I'm sort of going over them a bit, just because of the fact, well, obviously we've got our scales there, and some of those areas I might keep more shadowed, others I might not, but I kind of still want to just do it at the reflection areas where I feel there needs to be shadows, kind of thing. So I'm more going by how I want it to look, rather than, like, I will follow their shadows to a certain point, but then I also will add in my own or slightly change those shadows. Like here in these ones, you'll notice even though it says they're fully in shadow, I haven't done those scales as fully in shadow because, well, yeah, like I'll probably follow it properly for the body bit, but for the scales I just changed it a bit just because, oh excuse me, I decided some of those scales I didn't want to be fully in shadow or as shadowed as they might be. But yeah. I'm just gonna, it's not very blunt yet, but I just want to give it a bit of a point. Again, I want to just keep a point just because we're working with such fine details. I do. And because it allows me to control those fine details a lot more. And I like having that bit of control when I need it. I do. and sharpen it back up. Trying not to go over all the spaces and leave spaces, but some of these smaller spaces, as said, we won't be able to get all the colours into, but, well, all the colours into in the fact that we won't be able to see every individual colour. We'll still put all the colours in there, but we just won't be able to see every individual colour. It'll just be one or two colours, and then we'll still have the others in there, but they'll just be on top of those original colours kind of thing, to make them look the same, I guess you could say. Ah, and the pencil lid just broke. Bugger! I didn't think this one would. Dang it. Bugger, 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 bugger. I'm gonna have to clip this one to get it down to where I can sharpen it to fit the lead in again. So obviously Fabercastell Polychromos still do get breaks in them, but I don't find they get quite as many breaks as the Prismacolor if they're accidentally dropped. Whereas the Prismacolor do tend to end up with a lot more breaks when they're accidentally dropped, and I think that's something to do with the fact that, from what I've heard, that Faber-Castell actually glue the leads of their pencils to the leads to the pencil wood, whereas Prismacolor doesn't glue the leads to the wood pencil. But yeah, so let's just sharpen this. Just want a sharper point. So I'm just going to pause quickly just due to the time, and then we'll come in with our next colour. So I'll see you in a bit. So hey everyone, we're back. So I'm going to continue from where we basically just did. I'm just going to start on that section again with our next colour and then work up to the head obviously. So I'm going to start with my Faber-Castell Polychromos, and I'm going to go with an earth green yellowish for this next colour. And I'm going to start from down on our little tail area here, and I'm going to add it in on top of our previous colour as well as a bit itself. Like obviously this colour will probably fill up some of our last little areas, some of the smaller areas, but we'll work with it as it goes. We will. And it's kind of filling in some of these areas a bit faster than I was intending to. I probably did a bit too much of my darker shade there, but I'll just work with that. I will make it work. I can do that. I can. And now you're adding another colour on top. It'll probably deepen up that colour a bit, but also, well, I don't know if it deepens up the colour, but it seems to add more depth to it, in my opinion. And kind of once we've got the space where we're going to have our shadows coming from, it kind of also in some ways makes it a little, I guess, easier in that aspect, because you know exactly where you're doing the shadows from and to and all of that. Which isn't a bad thing. I'm wondering if I should change the colour to just 3 colours, but no, I kind of like the colour scheme that I already had. So, yeah. In some ways I kind of like the colour scheme and the colours as they are, but at the same time I do kind of really love my original colour scheme. But yeah, I'm just considering. Do I just want to add in my final colour to that or not? I'm just going to quickly get my art book and I'm just going to find a page to do a sample on. So you'll notice I got all my little things here. So I just want to try doing a sample here. So we've obviously got our olive green yellowish. And I want to add in my earth green yellowish. And then do I prefer just my final colour, which I'm not going to say just yet so you don't get confused. Or do I kind of prefer my original planned combo, which I won't say this colour either yet just because I haven't decided on it, or haven't decided on it, but basically I haven't started with that colour yet. I think I still prefer the one with a bit of this colour in it. Yeah, so I'm still going to stick with what I originally planned. Oh good, we're sorted now. We are. I regularly do that if I'm trying to decide with colours. I'm trying to leave space for all my final colours in the smaller, as many colours as I can get in the smaller areas. So, and these larger areas, well, you have a little more working room, but obviously I have done possibly a little much with the shadows there, but we'll make it work. We will. So you're probably starting to see a bit of a difference now with how it's looking as I'm adding in more colour tones. check. Yep. So you'll see the areas now where we've got two colours. It is looking very sort of olive-ish kind of thing. I don't know how to say that. Does create a bit of lumps like our usual spot does. So I was just looking at the back here and seeing if it pressed through the paper too much, because I thought I felt it dinting into the paper a bit. And it has dinted a bit, but not too badly, but hopefully it won't get too much worse. I haven't actually, like, it's not the thickest paper, so yeah, but hopefully it'll kind of come out okay. It's not really bad or anything, so I'd say it'll sort of flatten out once I close the book again. Fingers crossed. And I've missed one. Just correcting any little areas you find you've missed as you go kind of thing. Like I went over the line then, but that obviously wasn't my intention, but yeah. Just correcting spots as you go. Or fixing up spots or any of those. Boop, boop. Whoops, I went a little too far with that one. My hand cramped and I flicked it all the way up into the space that I didn't want to fill. Oh well, I guess that's life. I'll just work around it. I'm liking how these colours are coming together. It's not my usual colours that I use, but I'm kind of enjoying it at the same time. I am. Oops, I might have put a little much on there. I was intending to leave a lot more white and I basically filled it with the light shade. Oops. That's what happens though when my hand starts getting sore. Hand and wrist. Hellos. So anyway, I'm just going to pause there for a minute, then we'll come back and continue with this colour on our head. And yeah, I will be back shortly. So we're back everyone, so we're going to continue here with our colour we were just using and finish these little scales. I can't believe I've nearly done an hour and 48 minutes already on this piece and we're still not close to finishing the scales yet. So this is probably going to be one of my longer videos, shall we say, where it takes up a bit more time and a bit longer video, because I really would like to get this the dragon scales finished and the dragon body finished if I can in this video. So yeah, Hopefully my camera battery will be charged by the time I need to switch it over as well. Hopefully. But yeah, so that's my goal anyway, or my aim, if I can. But it does mean a longer video part, but I guess in some ways too it also makes it a little shorter in the long run as well, I guess you could say. But what I mean by shorter in the long run is, I mean it's longer, but I guess less parts, so you've got more to do per part in between the time when this goes up and then when the next part comes around, kind of thing, because I'm trying to sort of start getting things into a specific schedule as to when the parts go up for different things, so that's all sort of, shall we say, you know roughly when it's going to come up, so it'll be one part of this and then one part of the next thing and one part of the next thing, kind of thing. So we're rotating through them, but so that as we're rotating through them there's a specific order happening with them as well. There is, that's my goal anyway, or my aim. And I just realised I need to swap the paper. I only just realised that because I felt it as I was going through it. I felt it sort of start to buckle a bit, and because I hit the edge, so yeah. Remembering to do that as well. Trying not to go over the things like I just did then as well. I seem to keep losing control of my hand and wrist at times with whatever's going on, because my wrist sort of moves, and then sometimes when it moves it clicks and hurts, and well, it's always kind of hurting on and off, but it cramps as well, and yeah, it's kind of frustrating, but I just have to work with it as it is right now till I can see the orthopedic surgeon, which probably by the time you see this part I will have seen her anyway, but I'm hoping that something will be able to be done about it, because right now it is not very pleasant with the way my wrist and that is, so I'm hoping that they can work out what is going on with it and work out what needs to happen to fix it up, because the braces haven't really been doing much or helping at all, really, which is kind of sad, because I was hoping they'd help more than they have. But yeah, can only do the best we can. We can. Digging in there now, so that's not much good. Just trying to adjust the brace a bit so that it would work a bit better, but I adjusted it too tight kind of thing, so basically I had to put it back where it was. Whoops, I went over an area I wasn't meaning to then. Oh well. Not much I can do about it once it's done. It was a small area anyway that was fairly filled, so yeah, it is what it is. Nothing I can really do about it once it's done. I'm not going to use the eraser because that doesn't always well, you know my thoughts on erasers and that. I probably don't need to go into that again. Erasers and these pencils anyway. So, yeah, I don't think I need to go into that again. But yeah, definitely let me know if you'd like to see me do the introduction part of this page and our title page, as well as working through the whole book, which I'm thinking of doing just because it'll be fun to do a whole book with, what is it, limited colour palettes. So like the earth tones or the fire tones or the water tones or all of those. So, or wind tones, which I'm not actually sure what wind tones are, but I'm sure I'll Google it and I'm sure I'll find out. But yeah, I think it could be fun doing this book, the whole book with limited colour palettes, and see just how we can get each sort of different thing looking unique and interesting and stuff through those limited colour palettes. So yeah, it's something that I think it would be a fun challenge to do with this book, and see just how unique and different we can get each image through basically, I guess, doing our limited colour palettes to each section of the book kind of thing. So yeah, because I really enjoyed my latest one that I did with the dormice, with like that was limiting the amount of pencils, not the colour palette, but this is sort of, I guess I really want to try one with the limited colour palette, because I really enjoyed limiting the amount of colours that I could do with things as well, because it was really interesting to see just what you can achieve when you do have such a limited colour palette or amount of colours. So that one was more just selecting out 9 pencils and that was it kind of thing. This one I might use more than 9 pencils, but it'll be like the limited colour palette, so like to the earth tones and stuff like that, which I think will be fun and interesting to do as well. So, and I'd kind of be interested in doing that through this whole book if you are too, because, well, I'll probably do it just off camera if you don't want to sit. I don't know. I'm thinking of doing it on camera anyway, but I'm thinking it would be interesting to see just how unique we can get this book looking with its limited colour palettes and colour tone, limited colour palettes per section kind of thing. So, and I think it could be fun to do that on camera anyway. And yeah, I'd like to know, I hope you're interested or excited about that, because it is something that's kind of unique and different, I guess you could say. So anyway, I'm going to stop there for a minute anyway, and then I'm going to download this card, transfer it, switch the card, and then come back and continue with our next colours. And yeah, I really hope you're enjoying this. I am, because I've just discovered lately I really like the challenge of using limited colour palettes, which is why I kind of want to do that through this book and do it on camera. And yeah, I'd be interested to know how what you think of that. But yeah, anyway, I will be back shortly. So we're back, everyone. I've swapped the camera card over and that. I'm not sure how much longer I've got on the battery on this one yet, but yeah, we'll just play it by ear and try and keep an eye on things without losing track of things again, like I usually do, and then it just dies. But yeah, so I'm going to come in with my next colour now, which is my Fabercastell Polychromos Green Gold. And I want to bring that over all our other colours and leave space for our final colour as well. But I kind of want to bring this over all our previous greens, or olives basically. And we want to bring that in over all these little sections, including our small areas and all of that. Some areas it may be a bit the last colour, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's still showing a colour range or changing colours and stuff like that anyway, so it still works. It is, because some of these areas, as you've noticed, don't have a lot of space left, so yeah, it's still showing our colour change and that anyway, so it works. So I'm just gonna, I know I've got all these little areas up the side here. I just want to work on these little spots here quickly first. For some reason, I don't know why. But I just do. Just cause basically. Oops, trying not to go over things like I really did then. I wasn't meaning to get that colour into the main facial area kind of thing then. I was just wanting it in the circle, but I'm not doing a very good job at keeping them in those circles at the minute. Not a great job at all. But I'll just cover it in and fill it in with our next colours once I work out what our main scale body colours are going to be. Once I work out what our main body colours are. So I haven't filled in all of these with our gold colour yet. As you'll notice, I'm just filling in that ones on that side. Right now I'll do these ones as I come down there, but I just want to get some of these ones up around the face sorted. I do. And I think I'm just going to use that for our final colour around this mouth area too, because there's so little space left in these that it's just going to be, it's not going to have enough room for our final yellow colour. But obviously, as I said, not all the spots would fit all the colours anyway, but they'd still have all the colours because we'd still do them over the top of those colours anyway, if that makes sense. I hope it does. Because I don't feel like I've been making a lot of it lately. Since, that is. I'm really liking how this colour combo is coming together though. It's not a colour combo I would regularly choose, but I really like it. I'm almost tempted just to leave it with this colour rather than using my cadmium yellow lemon. I think I might do that. I'm just going to finish it off with this colour. So this is going to be a final colour in the end, our green gold is. Yeah, I love that. It's perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. It is. It's perfect because it shows, like the lighter areas, it still shows them, but it shows some depth and shadows, and yeah, I love it. I love it. And it works. It just works together like that. That cadmium yellow lemon, whilst I wanted to use it, it just, I wasn't able to blend it in like I wanted, kind of thing, if that makes sense. Like, I could kind of get it to blend in, but because it's such a pale colour, it really showed out. Even with the brown, it showed the definite lines beneath it. And sometimes you can't avoid that, or sometimes you want that. But I kind of didn't want that so much here, but because I really wanted like the earthy, yellowy, sort of olivey tones. So I guess it wasn't working so much for this, but I didn't actually think of this colour tone and finishing it with this colour tone until I was actually doing it and saw it combining here together. And then that was like when I was like, oh, that's what I can do, because I was still thinking about that one and umming and ahhing over the final colour. But if I'd gotten to it at the last bit and then done it, it would have, well, had to happen anyway, because obviously it's been started now, it needs to be finished. And I'm sure I would have still liked it and enjoyed it, and I'm sure I would have managed to get it fairly well blended in, but I kind of like this colour combo more because it sticks more to those really, really earthy sort of tones that I wanted on this dragon. So, yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, I'm sure I'll use that lemony yellow somewhere anyway. Sometime. I just find regularly when I want to use it, it's like I can't get it to blend in how I want it to blend in and stuff like that. So I think it's very much just because it is such a pale sort of colour that it's hard to get it to blend in without showing definite lines beneath it, which, as you know, I'm quite picky, fussy about trying to avoid that unless I actually want that detail there. I am. Little Lily sometimes talks to me, so I respond back. But yeah, I'm liking how that colour combo is coming together. Like, it's very, I guess, like goldy brown, but it does look a bit sort of mossy at the same time. But I'm not sure if I should add in like a bit of a deeper green into it, but I'm going to think about that while I finish this colour and then consider if I want to add in a deeper green. So I'll zoom in so you can see it. Obviously I'll have to zoom out again for the other, but I don't know if you can see that mossy green so much. Like, I can see it off camera, but I don't know if you can see it on the camera so much. So I think I may have to find like a deeper olivey green to add into that colour combo as well. So yeah, and I'll have a look at that in a minute. But I think it does need a bit of a deeper green in there, because then I can make it look a bit more mossy, I guess you could say. Trying not to go over the lines if we can avoid it. But yeah, I'm just quickly going to pause there, and I'm going to find a mossy green in my Fabercastell set, and then I will be back and we'll keep going. So we're back, everyone. So we're going to keep going here. I did find a colour that I think will work. I'm not sure if you can see it. I just did a test on one scale here with this colour, but I will bring that in after we finish the colour that we're currently working on and tell you which colour that is. So I'm just going to move it down here so that we can work on our body of our dragon. And yeah, you might not be able to see it showing definitely on the camera. I'm not sure because I'm trying to see it if you can see it on the back of the camera, but you may actually be able to see more of the color differences than I can see on the back of the camera. I won't actually know till I get on the computer, but if you can't totally see that on the camera, you will see it as you're doing it on your page, kind of thing. Well, on your page, not kind of thing, you will see it as you're doing it on your page. You will be able to see a bit of the differences, but as I decided, I want to add another bit of the deeper green into it as well. But that's just what I want to do. You don't necessarily have to do that, but if you want to, you can. I'm just going to sharpen this. It's not fully blunt yet, but it's just, yeah, easier with these really fine details to work with the sharper point on the pencil. I always used to try not to save money, but or just make the pencil last as long as possible, but now I've kind of decided, well, when I want a sharp point, I'm going to do a sharp point, because obviously there's times when it makes the piece look better because you have actually sharpened it and done that sharp point. So yeah, I've sort of decided now, well, I'll just replace the pencils when they need replacing, kind of thing, and yeah, I'm going to work with them how it works best for me. And I've realised kind of why people like to work with sharpish points now, I'll do. But that's not the reason why I started doing it. I just realised it made things a lot easier for me when I was trying to work with my really fine details, basically. It was. That's what it all came down to. And I didn't realise that till I actually tried it. So yeah, I'm glad I tried it anyway. Whoops, I just went flipped over onto the body again. I keep doing what I don't mean to do or what I don't want to do. Guess not really much I can do about it though. As I keep telling myself over and over and over. I guess I keep trying to tell myself over and over and over, because currently with my bung wrist and hand I keep finding myself getting extremely annoyed at myself because I can't do or achieve as much as I want to, and I'm really struggling with, like, even doing this I'm constantly hurting, and I keep getting frustrated and annoyed because it kind of limits what I can do or how I can do things and all of that. So it's kind of like, I guess more me just being a bit annoyed with myself and the brace and just things as they are. I guess I'm at the point where I just want some answers. I want to find out what I need to do to get this better so that I can get back to doing this without pain and without issues and problems and all of that. So yeah, I've just been getting really annoyed with it all and frustrated, but I just keep trying to focus on the good things and the fact that I'm still achieving stuff with my art, and that's what matters. It is, and the fact that I really enjoy it. So that's what I keep trying to tell myself and remind myself anytime I start finding myself getting annoyed and frustrated at myself. I do. There's really no point to getting annoyed and frustrated at myself. Really? Because it doesn't make me feel any better. It's just, all I can do now is just wait till I can see the doctor. So yeah, and I'm just going to pause for a minute because it looks like the camera battery is about to die, and I will be back. So I'm back. Yeah, I'm happy to be back. I went to change the camera battery and it hadn't fully charged yet, and they're dying quicker these days just because I've used them so much. So yeah, finally it was charged. So this will probably be the last part. I'm not sure if I will get to doing the dragon's body this time, just because of the fact that well, the camera batteries and the charging and all of that. I'll see how it goes. I was hoping to get to the body as well as the scales. We'll see how time goes. I may get it done in this video. We may be able to start parts of it. Who knows? We'll just have to play it by ear and see how time is going as to what we can get to or can't get to, kind of thing. So yeah, we'll just see how it goes, just because of the camera battery and all of that. So, and charging times and waiting for things to charge, and yeah. Really, I should probably be resting my wrist right now instead of doing this, but I wanted to try and just finish this part in this video if I can. So yeah, here I am. Pretty much. But yeah, we'll see how we go in the end. It may only end up being the scale bits that we finish. We'll just see. As I said many, many times just then. we'll just see how it goes as to if I get the chance to start on the dragon's body or not. I'm sort of half thinking maybe I'm better leaving that for another part and just work on the scales for this part, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. Kind of thinking it might be better just to leave it at the scales for this part because they're taking quite a while, as you'll notice too, and we've still got to do our final sort of greeny colour on the scales just to deepen up some areas a bit more too. So yeah, I'll probably just do the scales for this part and then we can do the dragon's body, the main body in that next part, and start working on the spines and the horns and all of those. So yeah, it'll work out well that way. It will. Hello, you're sleeping, huh? Just going to keep pushing through till we get these bits done. I just want to finish this recording if I can. I hope you'll enjoy colouring along with me if you do have this book, or if you decide to get this book too, because it really is an awesome book. I love these types of books, and I was so happy when I found one that would allow me to have that chance to colour it in my own style and really make it my own. Like, it has the information, but it's not coloured at all, so I get the chance to colour it and completely make it my own, and I really love that idea, in fact, in making a book, an information book about mythical creatures and that, my own in the manner of the fact that I am colouring it and making it my own that way. So yeah, it's good. It's really good. Yeah, it's not bad. I think it's just the usual, what it usually does with the bit of feeling through the tooth of the paper. I hope it is anyway, because I want to be able to colour the image on the back too, so to be able to do that I need to make sure that I don't completely damage the tooth of the paper, which is what I was just checking on, see if the tooth of the paper had bulged a heap or not, and it hasn't bulged much, so I'm hoping that as I sort of, because I think it is a bit of a, like, it's not really thick, but it's also not really thin. It's sort of a medium paper, so it sort of can have that tendency to bulge with the tooth of the paper, I find. So yeah, I think it's sort of decent-ish paper, but maybe not the best you could have. Definitely not anything like the Millimarotta Deluxe editions with the 180 GSM paper that we've got in those. Definitely not, but you can only work with what you got, with what they come. Really? check the time. And yeah, we got time. So I'm going to bring us back into this spot. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use our last colour now. And I'm going to use a Fabercastell Polychromos Pine Green. And I just want to use it just over these little shadow areas just to bring in a bit of our pine green into those areas. So not over the little brown area, just the areas where we previously had green. That's where we want to bring it in, just to create a bit of shadows, a bit more of a mossy sort of look. Trying to leave it so it looks like it's kind of, shall we say, blending in, but also not a definite line. So we just want sort of light sort of pine green markings, but at the same time so you can see it. And I just realized I need to swap this again. I do. So we just want to try and bring that lightly in where we've got all those previous shadows, but not leaving a definite line like I just did there. So in that spot I will probably try and bring in the brownie gold just a little, just to try and blend it in a little bit. So we're trying to avoid definite lines, I guess you could say. And trying not to rub the colour off the paper either, like I almost did going over that. This one here I can see a spot where the paper started to rub just because of the way I went over it, probably because it was getting to its limit with the amount of colour that could kind of go on there. So I'm trying to just put on a light, but not a light shadow, but that looks like it's kind of already blended in and it's not too definite with an obvious, shall we say. Like that one there, that was a bit too obvious, this one. So we need to try and blend it in a little bit. That's why I didn't sharpen this one this time. Like, a sharper point could possibly do better, but it would also give a more sharp line, and I don't want a sharp line with these ones. I just want something that looks like it's already been there and blended in, so I'm not having to go over it all with the pencils again, because I think, just from feeling it, I don't think this paper would handle that. I don't think it would. So just because it feels like it's sort of getting towards its limit as I'm adding this colour, so I kind of feel like better to not push it, kind of thing. And if you think you've made it a bit too definite, just lightly use your green gold to go over the line to try and make it blend in more without taking the colour off the paper, pretty much. So that's basically all I'm going to do there anyway, is I'm going to just bring in that bit of pine green. As you can tell, it has made quite a difference with seeing a bit more of a shadow showing out here. I haven't finished this bit yet, but I think I'm going to go and finish that bit off camera, same for the rest of the body. So just basically following where you've previously had your greens and just add it on to those areas. So yeah, I really hope you've enjoyed this. I hope it helps. I hope you enjoy colouring along to this or watching this or however you're doing it. And if you do, please leave a like, subscribe, comment. I always love hearing from you and talking to you, and I will see you later. Bye.